met Lionel Messi.
Oh.
That was amazing. Yeah. That was in Saudi Arabia for the Al Nassr Inter Miami friendly, but it was the day before the game and it was in his hotel.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
So meeting Leo Messi.
Yeah.
How does that come about, firstly?
Well, it's very interesting. So I got a call from, he's got 2 agents. He's got one for Spanish speaking and one for the Saudi world, because he's actually a Saudi, he's the face of the Saudi tourism board.
Yeah.
And that obviously is Arabic. So his Arabic agent called me and said, look.
Called you directly?
Yeah. He called me directly through a contact in Saudi Arabia, someone that he basically said that I knew and I was in the country for the game.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, come to this hotel next week on this day. Messi's got time off, and we want to make him meet some of his biggest fans, people that really love him, people that really will get this opportunity and they might not ever get it again. And I was like, I think this phone call's fake. I think I'm going to wake up on the day and it's not going to happen.
You
like,
thought it was a prank, did you?
Oh, 99% sure it wasn't going to happen.
Because you hadn't spoken to this person prior. So
exactly.
Right.
I was only there to cover the game.
Yeah.
And there was actually a lot of rumours that Messi might not play because he's injured, and Ronaldo as well. But Messi came back in time. Ronaldo didn't. So I was worried anyway. I was in Saudi. I was like, I come all this way, and it's not going to be the Ronaldo-Messi last showdown. It's not going to be the last dance. It's going to be a pointless game. And when I got that call, it was like, oh my God, everything's come to life. I'm here, and I've actually got this opportunity. Now, the background is this. I mean, during the streams, the lockdown era, I always backed Messi. Growing up as a kid, I was Barcelona because my dad took me on a Barcelona trip. Yeah. We got tickets from Idol Gudjonsson, actually. Old player. Yeah, my dad's actually got that contact, but he's friends with him, Idol Gudjonsson. So we went to a basketball game when I was young. I was like watching Messi in the flesh from a young age. I think there's a photo I can show you.
Yeah.
From that moment on, he was my GOAT. Ever since that day, I've defended him. I was there at the Finalisma where they beat Italy.
Yeah.
I was there when Messi scored against Man City with that lovely goal where Mbappe sent it up in the Champions League.
Yes. Yeah.
I was there to see him watch the World Cup, and that was after this moment too.
Yeah.
And I showed him all these videos when I got the opportunity to finally meet him. Yeah. And he was amazed. He was like, wow, this English guy. And obviously there is quite a lot of, he doesn't like to speak English because of what's going on. There's a bit of clashing between English and Argentinians. There always has been in football. But he was like, wow, this guy really knows and loves me.
This is what Messi said to you. So you walk in the door, you show him these videos.
Yeah, I show him these videos. So I wasn't allowed to record with him because there's too many people around him.
Yeah.
There's too many people deciding what.
So you weren't allowed to do a video with
him.
So
I took photos.
Yeah.
But they were on live.
Right. Okay.
So it was able to play out.
Yeah.
And it was able to catch enough. But he does speak English.
Right.
And he did say words to me. And he did say that, like, just.
So Leo Messi speaks almost fluent English or could understand what you were saying?
Completely understands and speaks some words.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what nobody knows. He never speaks it. He never speaks it in front of a camera. And that's probably why I couldn't record it as well. I wasn't allowed to go into that room videoing. Only photos.
So you think his people don't like him talking English in interviews, but he can from the dialogue you had with him?
100%. He can speak, but he never wants to.
Wow.
And maybe that's because of his Argentinian history.
Yeah.
You know, there's that's a Spanish-speaking country, and even in Miami, you go there, it's 60% Spanish. It's more Spanish-speaking than English.
Yeah.
So of course, he's been in some films in the US, and he said a few words like "bad boys," but I'm sure the amount he gets paid for that, it's a worthy opportunity to speak a few words in English, right? Yeah. But outside of that, nothing. Never taken an interview in English. Never.
Wow.
Will.
So tell me about that interaction as you walked in.
Yeah.
I imagine you're a bit nervous in that situation.
I felt like I was
nervous
dreaming.
you've ever been in your career so far, would you say?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. There's been a few moments in football stadiums where I've been nervous.
Right, for different reasons.
Yeah, for different reasons. But
in terms of meeting someone.
In terms of this might not happen, and I've come all this way for it, I really want it to happen. Please, please, please.
Yeah.
And even when we got to the hotel, it was like, okay, you guys are not coming in. You know, the bodyguards, and then you get through and you eventually speak to them and you're actually, no, we're here to meet them, and the agent brings you inside. So the Arabic agent brought me inside of the building. I was sitting in the reception. Even then I was like, if this doesn't happen, I'm glad I got this far in. I got into the Inter Miami hotel. Yeah. Anyway, you get like Busquets going for breakfast and you see like Suarez just going around with his yerba mate. And I'm like, wow, I shouldn't really go up to them because I want to wait for something bigger, but I really would want to. Yeah. And there's no one else in the hotel. They booked out the whole thing. Wow. It's insane. And then they were like, go down to the lower ground floor. And I was like, wow, okay, that's a bit abrupt. We'll do it. We're standing there with a few other fans, a few other people that connections that have come to meet Messi, and it was about 20 minutes, nothing happening, and then all of a sudden, Messi and his bodyguard come out the lift like a reveal yourself moment, you know, and he just walks out and he's smiling because he can see everyone's face light up, and it's just us. There's nobody else, and it was the most incredible.
When you say us, how many people in the room are you talking?
I'm talking like 7 or 8 people in the room.
That's incredible.
His agent, his bodyguard, Messi, and that's it. So anything that happens down in the lower ground floor,
and
that's it.
That's it on the lower ground floor.
Yeah.
So that's VVIP. Tell us about the interaction then.
So
first thing you said to him.
First thing I said to him was, Leo, it's an honor to meet you. Is it all right if I get a picture?
You said that, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's okay. So I got a picture. And then I went to grab my Argentina shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've got the shirt. I bought it with the extra star since they won the World Cup. Yeah. Is it all right if you sign it? But first, I want to show you a video. I've actually been to some of your biggest matches in your recent career, and I showed him the 4 videos, the games that I mentioned earlier. Right. You know, winning the World Cup, winning Finalisma, doing great things for PSG. His best moment at PSG, arguably, when he scored against
all in
City.
Different areas, countries, and everything.
And I showed him all 4 in one montage. I wasn't really meant to do that. The agent was looking over like, you can't do that. But he was smiling, so that's it. Messi smiles, it's all good.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, when I got him to sign the shirt, he wrote Porra Theo con amor from Leo, all in Spanish.
Yeah.
It was.
What does that mean?
To Theo with love from Leo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had a personalized message.
Yeah.
I've got that framed on the wall now. It's the best moment ever, and it's got the little pictures that we got together below, and he's smiling. So it's like a real smile.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you meet your hero, your idol, and it doesn't really go as planned. Mine went 100% as planned.
Really?
I'm not even saying 99.9. I'm saying 100. Like, he was so nice to me.
He
didn't want to run away. He came down for us.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe
What's
it.
Lionel Messi like?
Well, he's very short.
I mean,
he's quite nimble. Like, he's really small.
Yeah.
Like, you see why he gets through people.
Yeah.
But he's like very giggly,
I've been in a room with him twice, actually.
Very bright.
But I've never done an interview with him. Okay. And one of the time I went thinking we were getting a chat with him, and it didn't manifest through no one's fault. It just didn't happen. And obviously I was gutted with that. And the other time I was working at an El Clasico pitch side. So I've been in his presence twice, but I just felt the aura of, wow, the superstar.
The word is aura.
It's just like,
but
you're
not
looking
superstar.
at a genius here.
I feel like
you just felt the presence. Do you know what I mean by that?
I don't know how to describe it. The presence is key. But you feel like he's a little kid on the inside, in the sense that he's just a lad that loves playing football. There's no ego attached. And whenever he sees something, true emotion come across. Like if someone shows him a magic trick, there's videos online, he loves it.
Yeah.
He's just a little kid that loves playing football. And he still is to this day. You know, he doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about the fame. He just wants to play football. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's very different to some of the other players at the top of the game. And that's what I loved about him. And I felt the same thing when I met him. You know, it was just, I showed him that I'd been to all these games and supported him for a lot of his career, even as traveling from England. And from that moment on, he wanted to give me all of his time. He wanted to speak to me more about my story.
Yeah. How were you after that? Anything else that he told you that you
I
haven't
put my
revealed?
head down. I was like, I can't believe it. Do you know what? I wanted him to sign my Bolton shorts, but I didn't. I forgot. I had it in the room, and I forgot to make him sign them because I was thinking that would be the only.
But he signed the Argentina shirt. Surely that's fine.
For me, that's great.
Did you tell him you're a Bolton fan?
No, I didn't. I told Vinicius Jr. I was a Bolton fan.
Right. Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, I've never met one before."
Did he?
Yeah, he's the next Ballon d'Or winner. So you know that's the next one. That's quite funny. But I don't want to. There was more to Messi because
is he one of the? What did you say? He's one of the nicest footballers you've met, Lionel Messi.
The nicest.
Well,
with Chiesa, them two, yeah.
Yeah.
Those two are the nicest stories I've had with footballers.
Yeah.
And also two of the biggest in the game.
Yeah.
So it shows you that these guys have real personalities behind all the cameras and the hype.
And even though you didn't do a 15-minute video with him, there's still imagery of you with Messi online.
There is, of course,
people knew that you saw him. So how did that? Did that?
Look, I mean,
build your brand to a different level because you've got in your words
established my brand. My brand was already built, but it showed the opportunity had come from all the hard work.
Yeah.
So all the travel, all the years of following him around, it all made sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd really been everywhere for him. Yeah. You know, wherever Argentina would go, PSG, Barcelona before, you know, I would travel to watch the Champions League nights. And I would do it to support Messi. I wouldn't do it for the clubs.
Yeah.
And that's because he's my idol. So when I had that moment, it was like all of these efforts, worth it. And the long-term view is everything in life.
Yeah.
With everything you do. It's not about what happens on the day. It's about what you're building. And YouTube is like one big diary. So all the channel, you know, I'm glad that I've got this channel because my kids one day can watch everything I did. If they love football,
video. That's a long
They can watch
time.
whatever game they're interested in back in the day. You know, like nowadays you don't ever have this. Like YouTube is a new thing. But if there was a dad who had a channel 20 years ago.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And your kid grew up and was able to see everything you did in a younger generation.
It's amazing how far in advance you're looking at that.
Yeah. It's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I want my son to love football and see what I did.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, so I'm always making sure that's the archives. And moments like meeting Messi, I mean, hopefully my kid loves Messi, because you never know what the idols change in new generations of football. But yeah, it's definitely that was the best day of my life, for sure.
The best day of your life? Singular?
Seeing Messi, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was... And he'll go away remembering me. So if I ever see him again, maybe I do.
Do you think he will? Do you think Lionel Messi will go away remembering?
He never does meetups like that. He never does.
Do you think if you saw Leo Messi again, he'd remember who you were?
Yeah, there'd be a smile on his face. In fact, you'll see the clip when it happens, and tell me if you think that smile when he sees my face is genuine.
Okay.
From meeting me, because on that
he
Saudi
must meet
trip,
a lot of people.
Yeah, on that Saudi trip, of course, people always coming up to him, but mine was a personalized, as you said, VVIP meeting. It was just me and a couple others, no one else, and we actually got a chance to interact. So it's not like all the wave. It's not like all the things going past him. It's like there's actually an only small amount of people that he is able to have a real face-to-face with, because there's so many people protecting him. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I think he will.